Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for May 27th, 2024. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and week so far. It's Memorial Day for everyone in the United States, so hopefully you have the day off and you are able to relax. But of course, my name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your wonderful hosts. Well, we hope we're wonderful. That's up for you to decide.
We're your hosts.
I think Kevin's wonderful. So
I think my phone's going off for no reason.
Let's see here. Our good friend Nadia over at the YouTube channel Horror and More. Subscribe if you aren't already. Says, what it do, broskies? What it do? I know you're busy with a particular task that I'm sure Kevin is going to talk about a little bit later. Some fun developments. But Matt Walls, am I still shadow banned? Can anyone see me?
Yes. Are you in the shadows?
I don't.
He's Batman.
We banished him to the shadow realm, Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Welcome back, Matt. Hopefully you are all
in
good.
The shadow realm.
And hopefully you know that both movies that you selected are the ones that both movies that won for me last week are the ones that were selected. So you're on a streak right now, Matt. Hopefully you got some movies to submit this week. Also, I got a couple from outside people that have come onto the list. And because people are submitting more than one, I have done a little something to the list. You'll have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and jump into the stories for this week. We don't have too many stories, but we've got a lot of movies to cover that I in particular watched. So let's go ahead and kind of jump into the stories this week. And up first is that Knives Out 3 has been formally announced, and it is releasing next year. And the film will be titled Wake Up, Dead Man.
That teaser trailer.
That teaser trailer was pretty darn good. Benoit Blanc teasing this is his most dark and crazy mystery yet, so hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a full trailer, but teaser trailers are perfectly fine as well.
Absolutely great. I mean, it's just an announcement too. The fact that we got anything video wise in addition to the announcement is fantastic. True.
So next up, new My Bloody Valentine film reportedly in the works from Blumhouse. I mean, Nadia and I personally love the remake with Dean from Supernatural in it, so hopefully it can hold up to that standard that we like it, because we try to watch it on every Valentine's Day as well. So see if it's good.
I think we actually watched that movie on like a game night together, and at some point in the last couple of years. And I mean, I don't think the movie's great, but I enjoy it. And so there is definitely something to be said there. Hopefully they can get it right, because I know Blumhouse has said they've got a bunch of different like things that they're going to be remaking. So hopefully they can put the money into it.
Yep.
A little bit of sad news here, but Morgan Spurlock, the director of Super Size Me and star of Super Size Me, among other documentaries, has passed away at the age of 53. Not in relation to anything from his documentaries. Unfortunately, he lost the battle to cancer. And so we here at Real Watchers just wanted to say a quick little piece. We'll miss you, Morgan.
Did you have to watch Super Size Me in health class?
Yes, I did.
That's how I knew him.
Yeah, and he's unfortunately no longer with us. He still made he made more other documentaries too. And if you haven't seen any of them, I actually want to double check and see what else there was. So I know he did some like mostly health stuff. Yeah, like Freakonomics, Comic-Con. Bunch of different things. Greatest movie ever sold. Couple different documentaries and stuff. So if you're interested, would recommend checking it out. Also a good way to remember the man. So
all right. And next one is Benedict Cumberbatch gives a disappointing update on Doctor Strange 3. He has no idea what's happening right now.
I mean, it makes sense after the kind of the critical and fan reception to Doctor Strange 2, and it looks like there's something crazy going on over there on the screen.
This
look at that,
came in today.
And there's Nadia.
Ran up the stairs.
He just wanted a starring role.
Yeah.
So this is Millie, everybody. We just got her. So she ran up the stairs. Oh my gosh, this is what we have to deal with. But
and that's better news than anything related to Doctor Strange 3, because we have no idea what's going on.
There's nothing happening.
Exactly.
That is the news on Doctor Strange 3. It's a puppy.
Better news about a superhero movie. Superman is officially halfway done filming, as according to James Gunn. A fan had asked him on Twitter when we're going to expect to see some sort of trailer, and he said that probably not for a while, just because they're still halfway through shooting. So they're making progress. So
it's kind of cool that he just asked him on Twitter and he replied.
Yeah, James Gunn's known for interacting with people on Twitter who just ask like legitimate questions, and so
cool.
And the fact that he's the head of like DC Films now and is doing that is actually really cool.
Yeah,
so,
kind of makes him down to earth a little bit.
He always has been, so it's just kind of nice to see.
Yeah. New Friday the 13th movie is at least 3 years away, says creator. I don't know, maybe 3 years too late. Maybe the hype's gonna die down by then. That's what I think.
I mean, they are developing some sort of like multimedia universe thing for Friday the 13th, like video games, TV shows, movies, and like all this kind of stuff, which is kind of weird. Didn't really report on it last week because there was no big like movie announcement with it. But this is kind of the biggest one. So, I mean, we're going to be getting a new one.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Let's see it, exactly. Next up, Margot Robbie's The Sims movie has been acquired by Amazon MGM. So cool. This doesn't mean that it is going straight to Amazon. It can also go straight to theaters as well. I mean, Roadhouse went straight to Prime, which would be unfortunate for something like this. But I think after the success of Barbie, I want to know how much they paid for this.
Yeah.
Because they expect it to be a hit. But who knows?
I mean, endless possibilities in this Sims.
Literally,
you could probably watch this movie maybe 3-4 times and find something new in the background happening, like with all those funny things that you can do in the Sims.
And if there's no reference to like the Simlish language throughout that entire movie, I'll be disappointed.
Have you've seen like the patch notes on the Sims, right?
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. Like preventing babies from sticking to hands while driving the car. Yeah.
Yes, like it has to have some of that like little like Easter eggs in the background that people who play The Sims know or who have watched that video. Oh, it'd be
allowed
so
Sims to leave the graduation ceremony if they're on fire and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah, it's so ridiculous.
All right, and Deadpool and Wolverine has the highest single-day ticket sales for an R-rated movie, like ever or this year?
Ever. Like it sold the most pre-sale tickets for any R-rated movie ever when that went online.
I mean, I'll be right there.
Yeah,
I didn't pre-order it, but I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I might have to get my seat pre-ordered just because apparently it's selling out showings all over the place. So,
well, I think if you're looking for the weekend, probably, but I go usually Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, like in the morning, like 10 a.m. So I probably don't have to, but. Over the weekends you should. Yeah, you never know though, because it is summer. I forgot about that.
That is too. So, but it is R-rated, so there won't be a lot of kids in there. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Steven Spielberg's next film is going to be releasing in 2026, but no idea which project it is because there's several projects he's had in the works, including a remake of Bullet, the Steve McQueen film, and his upcoming UFO project that we had discussed a couple weeks ago. So it could be either one of those or something different.
That sounds very intriguing, that UFO movie, because I'm kind of down to see it.
Yeah, I really want to watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because that's like the big UFO one he did, and it's legitimately one of his best movies. So, yeah, no idea what it is yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana gives
Saldana, I don't know.
Saldana gives filming update up for Avatar 4, teases a huge change. Evil Na'vi and good humans, a flip on the first two.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of known that the next two are going to have the Ash people, as they call them, which are like the fire tribe.
Yeah.
And that it'll be a flip on the formula, showing an evil tribe, and we'll have hopefully more good humans. We'll find out.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that is kind of predictable. Have the first two humans bad, second two humans good.
Yeah, like I don't know. I honestly don't know where they're even going to go with this franchise at this point, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I mean, well,
they got to go to space.
Well, they know. I think that's at some point. I think Avatar 5, which is going to be the last one, they will go to Earth.
Oh, okay.
So we will see how Earth is like desolate and no longer has any like green life anymore.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, which we'll have to wait like 10 years for that. So I'll be 40 by the time that comes out, probably, which I'm not looking forward to. Glenn Powell has reportedly turned down the new Jurassic Park film, and actor Rupert Friend has joined the cast. Recently, Rupert Friend was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as the Grand Inquisitor, was also in The Death of Stalin and several other movies. I was also in Asteroid City from Wes Anderson, so has done several pieces of work. I'm glad to see him get a blockbuster.
Is he the dad?
He was like the country music singer in Asteroid City.
I have to look him up.
You'll have to look it up. Yeah, I mean, glad to see Rupert getting a what's it called? Like a lead role, kind of a blockbuster-like film. He's done a lot of artsy stuff over the last couple of years, so kind of nice to see him make a change. And then Glenn Powell, you know what? Honestly, I think you see a lot of the bad kind of mojo hanging out around Chris Pratt right now for taking leads and everything. And Glenn Powell, he's a great-looking guy and he's a good actor, but like, I don't want to see him in everything.
Don't place him in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Use him where he will be good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And Disney's Club 33 being turned into a movie. No one asked for this.
Nope.
But
it is being produced by Sean Levy, who is the director of Deadpool and Wolverine and Free Guy. He was the director of Free Guy and one of the creator, director, producers of Stranger Things. So, like, it could be good.
What is it going to be about? It's about Club 33 that no one can get into.
Yeah.
See, that's a horror movie right there. He can make it a horror movie.
Well, if it's a Disney movie, hopefully it's not like... Well, they could make it R-rated. They're doing Deadpool and Wolverine, so... Speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine has released 2 separate synopses for the film, one being a family-friendly one, and one being a not-so-family-friendly one, and I will read both of them out to you right now. The family-friendly synopsis for Deadpool and Wolverine is Wolverine is recovering from his injuries when he crosses paths with the loudmouth Deadpool. They team up to defeat a common enemy. That is a really...
generic.
It's laughably generic, but you know that they wrote that on purpose.
Yeah.
But the not so family friendly one is even better.
Let's do it.
Marvel Studios presents their most significant mistake to date, Deadpool and Wolverine. A listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life. His days as the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool are behind him. When his homeworld faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with the even more reluctantist? He must convince a reluctant Wolverine to... Fuck, synopses are so fucking stupid. That's the exact synopsis. And it's fantastic.
So good. So good.
Yeah, really starting to get very excited for this movie. Obviously, Kevin, you started watching Welcome to Wrexham recently, and it was just confirmed that Rob McElhenney will have a cameo in the movie.
Oh, that's going to be great.
In some way. And apparently in the R-rated trailer, the second one that starts in the bar with Wolverine, in the background, you can actually see Wrexham striker Ollie Palmer as a cameo. So that's... I'm all here for it. I don't care. The Wrexham Cinematic Universe. The last story of the day, though.
Oh gosh, I had it in my head. Miyazaki's son teases the next project from his legendary filmmaker. He says, "I don't know if it'll actually be for his next film, but it's looking like an action adventure type movie, nostalgic and reminiscent of the olden days." So, are we thinking Nausicaa, or are we thinking...
I'm hoping something like Princess Mononoke, or I would love to see another movie like Porco Rosso. That's just like a fun, loving adventure movie. And it doesn't say fantasy, it just says action adventure. So I'm starting to think it's more like Porco Rosso or something like that, which...
It's going to be Fast and the Furious animated.
That'd be horrible. Miyazaki's entire legacy would be just tainted forever if he did a Fast and the Furious movie.
Studio Ghibli brings Vin Diesel.
Although I will say Studio Ghibli did do an animated short for Disney with Grogu, and it is a very cute animated short. It's like a minute long.
No.
But it's on Disney Plus if you want to check it out.
Okay.
Alrighty, everyone. Let's go ahead and get some of these comments here real quick. Dog! Yes.
Yes.
That was Millie, the newest real watcher.
The realest of watchers.
And a big ol' aww. Found out today Sims 4 has $1,200 worth of transactions. Where's the mod where I unlock all that stuff for free? Well, what's nice about The Sims, though, is that, like, all of its DLC is completely optional. They're content packs usually.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you want to have extra outdoor gear or whatever, then you can purchase them. Some of them are like, oh, there's vampires. You want to play as a vampire? And then, like, so there's, that's not necessary. I mean, there's games that are far worse. Actually, hold on, I gotta see what this one is. I think it's DCW Flight World or something like that. It's like a combat flight game. Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts now. Yeah, it's like it's a game that's free to play. But it's like you have to pay for like all the different kinds of planes. And it's like VR capable. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Simulation. There we go. Not War Thunder.
War Thunder? Are we sponsored by War Thunder?
No, I sincerely hope not.
Raid Shadow Legend.
Let's see, combat world something.
World Star.
Oh, this is gonna drive me. Flight combat game. DCS. Yeah, DCS World. Sorry, is the name of the game. And if you want to purchase all 137 pieces of DLC for the game, it will cost you $3,609.
That's just stupid.
It's so stupid. But like, if you're really into flight and like combat sim and stuff, there are people who are very good at it, and so like that's what they do. It's the only thing they play, and so I understand it. But it's a lot of money.
That's
and again, it's not even necessary. You just buy what you want to fly. Matt Walls will be turning 30 this year, so yeah, I'm not excited, especially when I turn 40. Hey, well, congratulations. Welcome to the club. I just turned 30 back in March. So welcome to the club.
I'm past that.
Not yet, hopefully. Yeah.
I'm past that.
Kevin's past it. So welcome to the... hey, you got to look at it. It's your dirty 30s. That's what you got to look at it as. The horror of Club 33 would be the prices.
It's just Disney in general prices, but...
Still not as crazy as McDonald's prices now. Matt Walls, no, it's the train game on Steam. It's like $6,500 worth of stuff. Oh, I guess maybe you're right.
The train
there is a train game, and I don't remember which one it is, but it has it's ridiculous. What? But again, most of the time when it has that many expansions, it's not like necessary shit. It's just like additional.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 40 going on 41, so take that, whippersnappers. That's all right. Thank you, Joey, for putting me in my place. Appreciate it.
How were the dinosaurs when you rode them to work?
All right. Well, that's on that note. Let's go ahead and talk about the trailers that came out this weekend. We did get quite a few trailers. Did anything stand out to you, Kevin?
Well, as we spoke of in the news, Wake Up Dead Man was a really cool kind of teaser trailer that we got. Long Legs was really good again. It's just, I don't know if it's hyping me too up for this movie, though. That's what I'm worried about, because all these trailers have been really good. And if I go see it and I'm disappointed, I don't know if hopefully I will not. I will go in probably not watching the trailers for like a week just to clear my mind. And then Beetlejuice, which is the dumbest name I feel like for a sequel, it looks funny and looks quirky, but I don't know how those visual effects look.
Oh, they look. Some of them look like specifically the plane part.
The
looks
plane.
like a
Did you
video
see
game from a PS2.
The snake, too.
Oh, the snake is stop motion. That wasn't the original movie.
Yeah, but that plane.
The plane looked like it was a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not done yet. I don't know.
It's
but
GameCube.
The movie always also looks really cheaply made.
Yeah.
Like it looks like something I would see on Not even on Netflix. I probably would see it on like a Tubi free show.
Or like Roku channel.
Yeah, it just does not stream quality at all. Like, it feels
No.
like Tim Burton's really settling for less. But for me, Longlegs again. I mean, and then Wake Up Dead Man. But I think Longlegs is just quickly becoming my most anticipated movie of this year. So, and it's not me getting overhyped either. I just think that, like, I think because the marketing is working so well, and the fact that it's just showing something completely, they're doing it differently than any other movie I've ever seen. And so, and the first reactions have all been really positive. So I'm super excited for it.
Another really funny one, I just watched it before we got on, was Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. It just looks like a funny Eddie Murphy movie. So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Joey, I don't remember. Doesn't dinosaurs.
Okay.
At least it didn't have a 2 at the end, so Beetlejuice works considering.
But are they going to call it? Okay, if they do this, though, it would piss me off. Call Beetlejuice 3, instead of calling it Beetlejuice. Because just like with John Wick.
By the time they do a third one, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Depends on how successful the second one is. Which something tells me it's going to be very successful, because there's a lot of people who really enjoy that movie a lot more than a lot of other people. So... Alrighty, well, that is it for all of the trailers we got this week, and we get to get into the movies that we covered this week, and oh boy, there's a lot to cover. And so I have, let's see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies that I watched outside of the assignments this week. And Kevin had 2. No, you had a fifth.
Ones.
You had a fifth of what I did. So what I'll do is I'll do my first 5 movies, and then I'll do Kevin's first one, then my second 5, and then Kevin's second one. With the new trailer, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, I have more hope as I grew up on the first 2. 3 was a disappointment. Well, hey, anytime that Joey says that it's got more hope, or that he's got more hope, is a good sign.
And I think it's going to be on Netflix when it comes out too.
Yes, a Netflix release,
Yeah, I mean, that would be good just to, hey, you don't have to, I mean, support your local movie theaters. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're hesitant on going to see the 4th one, it's streaming. Yeah,
exactly. Alrighty, so the first movie I covered this week was Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult, from the year I was born, 1994. This movie is just not as good as the first one, clearly, and not even as good as the second one. There's a few decent scenes, but this film just isn't as funny. It just isn't as consistently funny. It's got a different director, which makes it feel completely different. And as a fan of Naked Gun, it just did not do anything for me. So unfortunately, had to give it a 30 out of 100. And there's a really, really, really oddly placed joke towards the end that really rubs you the wrong way. And I'm not going to kind of go into that here. Next up was the action movie Red, which was an adaptation of a comic book starring Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, and a lot of other people. I think this movie is fine. It's definitely, as many people on Letterboxd have called it, boomercore, which is like an action movie for boomers because it's about boomers. It's fun. All the main actors, Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich, they're all having a blast, and it's really fun to watch them work in this movie. The actual story is super forgettable. You're not going to remember anything that happens in this movie except for Helen Mirren firing a big Browning 50 cal. But other than that, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's worth the time, but if it appeals to you, then go ahead and check it out. After that is one of my favorite films. I love this movie. Seven Psychopaths. It's a film I have always loved, and I'm so happy that I finally get to talk about it here. This movie does have some pacing issues in its second act, but besides that, the characters are so well written. The movie is this nice commentary on screenwriting and character and why those are important. It's so funny. And it's so wacky and out there. And if you've never seen it or heard of it before, I couldn't more highly recommend it. It's a really good time. And then Kevin's going to have this one too, but let's go ahead and talk about it now. Uncut Gems. I am sorry, Mr. Sandler, for ever doubting that you could act, because this is Adam Sandler's best role ever. I've never seen Adam Sandler better in a movie. He is incredible in this movie. That is a 2 hour and 15 minute anxiety attack from beginning to end. I actually, we never talked about this, Kevin. I came home and I was shaking like from a panic attack like thing. My heart rate was high. It was just crazy. This movie is nuts. It's constant video and audio overstimulation the entire time. People are shouting and talking over each other. Nothing ever feels comfortable in this movie. And the only bit of respite you get, or rest, is at the end. And I'm not going to spoil the end. So,
no.
And who knew Kevin Garnett could act?
I mean, he did pretty well.
I mean, for a basketball player who's had no experience, it's pretty good. After that, watch the movie Days of Thunder. I never knew this film existed, and I'm glad to have the knowledge that it exists. This is an exercise in wasted potential. This is the same director and star, Tom Cruise, as Top Gun. And for some reason, like, what was fighter jets not sexy enough for the redneck crowd that they had to go and make a NASCAR version of Top Gun that's nowhere near as good in some way, shape, or form. This movie is like far more gay than Top Gun, and it's probably the best part about it is how gay this movie is. But like, it's just it's very stupid. I can't recommend the movie really at all. I mean, if it appeals to you in some way, again, check it out. If you want to see Tom Cruise driving a NASCAR on the track, you know, maybe that's how he got short. There's all that speed shoving him down into the sea.
The G forces. Yeah.
And it also doesn't help that I have a bias against NASCAR. NASCAR is the least exciting anything in the world. It is a giant left turn. And like, there's parts of this movie that go like, oh, turn 4 is really dangerous. You have to watch out, Tom. And they never explain why turn 4 is dangerous. And they don't show why it's dangerous. And I don't watch NASCAR, so you have to tell me why it's dangerous?
Yeah.
It looks like every other fucking turn they make on the same oval, so why does it matter? It's stupid. Anyhow, don't watch the movie. It's bad. But Kevin, speaking of...
Uncut Gems. No, I'm not really like a big Adam Sandler fan. Grown Ups is probably one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies that I've seen in a long time, but I haven't seen him act in a movie that I've not enjoyed, but remember him in. And this movie, like you said, it is anxiety driven. We watched it in IMAX too, so it was loud, and it was so there. My brain was trying to focus on one thing when another thing was happening, and it was just so overstimulation is the best way to just watch this movie, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about, because you'll be going into this. I'm like, oh, okay, he's a gem stealer. We're going to learn about gems. This has nothing to do with gems. It's great. It's absolutely great. Again, but this is my problem with A24. Really good movies, but some just don't hit.
You know what? It's all right. Getting back into my next 5, I watched The Wizard of Oz from 1939, the original. And it's one of the true classics of American cinema for a reason, but it's one of those films that's not quite my favorite. It's not something I would just die to rewatch over and over again. But I understand the value of it. I definitely I respect the hell out of this movie. And the sequence when Dorothy moves out of her house, it's in like that sepia tone and goes into Technicolor, is one of the best shots in cinema history. It is brilliant. There are some really highs to this movie. There are definitely some parts that I would not be as much a fan of. I think the Munchkin Land is drawn out way too long. And there are just, it's just not a movie that I'm like, it's not my favorite. But I highly respect the film for what it did for the industry. And even though there's some really bad stories about what happened behind the scenes on this movie, but it is a huge landmark movie for a reason.
Well, it's funny. You just talking about this movie reminded me. I know the whole movie now, so it's like, do I really need to watch it again? If you're like, oh, Munchkin Land, I'm like, oh yeah, that took way too long to get through.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, I just know now. I just remember the whole movie.
Like, I don't need to see members of the Lollipop Guild or like the Sugar Plum Guild. I get it. You're all happy she's there. Let's move on. Next up is Star Trek Into Darkness, which is the sequel to the 2009 film. I honestly, I can and can't understand a lot of the hate around this movie. I think it's totally fine. It's definitely not the best Star Trek movie out there, and I think that what it does with the legacy of Star Trek, if you understand at all what I'm talking about, I'm not going to spoil the movie, is a little odd. But I like the first one from 2009, and I think this one is a worthy enough follow-up that, I enjoy it. It's not even if some of the performances aren't the best. And then Saturday, I went and saw Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, which was really interesting because I walked out of this movie not super enthusiastic about it, but it kind of grew on me more as I was waiting and kind of thinking about it. I think that this movie is not as good as Fury Road, but I think that this film is still great. I think the biggest problem for me is that it really drags in its first act. It's a little too slow to get to anything with Anya Taylor-Joy. She's not in the movie as much as you'd suggest, as much as you'd think, which is a little annoying, but that's not really a spoiler, hopefully. But my other biggest gripe is that this movie felt long, and I don't think it's a 2.5-hour movie, and I don't think that the length is necessarily a problem. I think it's just the ongoing problem that Regal took a half an hour from when the movie was supposed to start to actually play the damn movie, and so that made it feel worse. And so I'm not holding that against the movie by any means. I definitely want to rewatch the movie when it comes out at home, but it's still a great movie. It's more time in a world we love with the characters we love, so it's hard to argue with that.
That's crazy. A 2.5-hour movie turns into 3 hours because of everything before it.
Yeah, I don't know why, Regal. Get your money out. Get on it. After that, actually today, I went and saw this morning. I saw The TV Glow, which is the newest A24 movie, and one of the newest ones. And I think that this movie was really good, but I don't think it's really good for most people. I think that this movie is not at all what it's advertised to be. I don't think the trailer has really nailed what it's supposed to be. And I think a lot of people will walk out of this movie disappointed, but I think a lot of people walked out rejuvenated because this is made for a certain audience that is not an audience that, it's not like you can't watch this movie if you're not a part of that audience, but you'll get more out of it if you're a part of that audience because it's made by someone who is identical to that audience. And so I think the movie is good. I definitely think that the message and the story are very important, but I think that for me it just didn't resonate with me. It's not something that I'm going to die to rewatch again or really try to seek out. I might buy it just because it's one of the, I will say, probably the best looking movie of the year.
Okay.
Next to Dune Part 2. It is very, very pretty. And what they do with color is fantastic. And lastly, I watched the Alfred Hitchcock movie Rope, which was my first time watching the movie. I'd never seen it before, and I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think it's in my top 5 Hitchcock movies. This is a fantastic stage to screen adaptation. It really feels like you're watching a stage production of this play, and because of that, it is special because it is all done to look like it's in one take. But they hide the cuts in a very ingenious way for what they could in the 40s, and because of that, it feels unlike anything of its time. It really feels ahead of its time, kind of like the 39 Steps did, but I would say that this is a better movie in my opinion. It's also perfect length, perfectly paced, and it's a real nail biter of a suspense movie. Cool. So yeah, really enjoyed Rope. And I know, Kevin, you love Alfred Hitchcock as well, so would highly recommend you watch that one.
I'm going to try to watch it soon, but
it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. No excuse, Kevin. No excuse.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, Kevin, your last one before our assignments.
Migration. I gave it a 66 out of 100. I thought it would be more. Sorry. It's a kids movie, but I thought it would have some secret adult stuff in it. Like how they always try to sneak something in there. A little bit, but less than I thought. But it's a really good movie. It's only an hour and 22 minutes, which I thought was really short for some of it. But it's still funny, fun. Something to just turn your brain off to a little bit because kind of what's going to happen. It's very predictable. So,
yeah. I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I would probably say it's Illumination's best movie. That's just
Oh, Illumination is stuck to this animation style, and it really works because every time I watch an Illuminations movie, I'm like, wow, this is really good animation.
It's clean. Yeah, for a studio that's not Pixar or Disney, it's very clean. Sometimes a little too clinically clean, I would say. But all right, before we get into our signed movies, looks like we do have a comment up here. Wizard of Oz also looks really good on 4K. Yes. I was actually at Barnes & Noble and was going to pick up the Blu-ray, and whenever I go to Barnes & Noble and I look through the Blu-ray section, I'm always like, does this have a 4K version? Because usually it's better looking. And that's one of the ones where I'm like, I got to get the 4K. So, yeah, I really hope to get that one on 4K and I've put it in my collection. Alrighty, Kevin, now let's go ahead and talk about the shorts that we were assigned this week. I'll go ahead and start with mine, which was Robin Hood Daffy. I have a soft spot for this one. It's one of my favorites from when I was younger, and it's still great now. I do think the joke is a little stretched thin. The Daffy Duck's just a bad Robin Hood. We get it. But it's gorgeously animated. I love these later Looney Tunes ones. I think it's the Chuck Jones era. I could be wrong. Joey, not want to correct me on that. But I love these like 50s and 60s style animation. I just think it looks a lot cleaner. And I love seeing these characters in these roles. But it's also just like this whole short is like the meme creator or one of them for Looney Tunes memes. So yeah, I absolutely love this short. So 88.
Yeah. Mine was Porky in Wacky Land, which is I made a 27. Oh geez, 97. And this one was really fun. It does have kind of a bad joke in it. It's not even a joke. It's really bad. I don't know if have you seen this one?
I've seen the short before, but
yeah,
I'm trying to remember what it is.
He goes to Africa to find the last dodo bird, and it goes blackest and blacker in Africa, which is
I remember that. I
was like, ooh, but I'm like, okay, but it's not. And this looks really good for 1938. I had to look up to see when it was actually like animated, because it looks fantastic. It's black and white. Porky doesn't look like himself like he normally does nowadays, but really good animation and really good, like, it kind of messes with your head in Wacky Land when you're in there, because the dodo bird does some tricky stuff, but it looks really nicely animated, and it's understandably animated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it makes sense, and obviously it's of its time, so you're going to get jokes and things you don't necessarily agree with, which, as much as we hate it, there's not a lot you can do about it. So, but let's go ahead and get into the feature film assignments, and I'll give the first film that I got from our good friend Matt Walls, which is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. And first off, why is this movie so hard to find? I had to watch it on the Internet Archive, the whole movie, and so that was kind of annoying. But for how highly praised this film seems to be among like the Letterboxd community and other film fans, it just didn't really do anything for me. I think that the story wasn't that memorable or exciting. The world didn't really have any resonance, or the characters, didn't have any resonance. But I think that the world is so incredibly realized. It's very beautifully animated. This movie is gorgeous for a movie that came out 24 years ago. It's a style that I've never seen before, and kind of an aesthetic that I didn't know I needed to see, which is like gothic western meets vampires and stuff. It kind of works, but I think that it's not a boring movie by any means. It just didn't do anything to catch my attention or hold it the entire time. So, but let's go ahead and get into Kevin's first one. From
Bucky
Eddie
Larson. Born to be a Star. It's born to be thrown in the dumpster and lit on fire. That's what this should be called. Don't watch this movie. Don't give it your money. It's free. Please don't give it your money still, because it'll take your time away. Time you could be watching something much better. Is it okay? Did I laugh a couple of times? Maybe, because of how stupid it was. But no, it's shot horribly. Dialogue is made by a second grader who just learned how to type on a typewriter, and you have better time to waste doing something else.
Yeah, Don't. This movie came out at a perfect time for me. It came out when I was in high school, and it was like right up my humor alley. And even in high school, I knew that this was bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what it was. Just bad. It's not a bad good movie. This is just a bad movie.
Alrighty, and that's gonna bring me to my second one, which I'm a little sad to say. Matt Walls did nothing for me. Ice Station Zebra from 1968. I ended up giving it a 38 out of 100. On the positive side, the cast is really good in this movie. No character is a moron. Everyone is a professional, and everyone knows what they're doing. They are really well performed. But I think that this... Actually, I will say also, the cinematography in this movie, it's a gorgeously shot movie. Like, this is someone who definitely took an inspiration from like Lawrence of Arabia and similar films from David Lean, because it feels very similar to how he would have shot the movie. Like, for instance, whenever you're in the submarine, the camera is canted, like it's at an angle. So it almost feels like it's like you're disoriented like they are. It's an interesting decision. Other than that, I think the movie is very boring. There's no reason for it to be like 2.5 hours long. And it just culminates in probably the worst final standoff I've ever seen in a movie. With a bunch of guys just standing around looking bored. Yeah, my biggest pain point with this movie, though, is that the studio that released this also released 2001: A Space Odyssey, a masterpiece. And they pulled 2001: A Space Odyssey out of theaters because the studio didn't understand that movie and shoved this in instead. And no one remembers this movie.
No.
But we all remember 2001. There's no points off of that. I just think it's really funny that the studio decided to do that. And so, yeah, unfortunately, give it a 38. Wasn't my favorite movie in the world. Still some redeeming qualities to it, but just not enough to make me at all want to recommend it or watch it again.
Yeah, no, something else you should never watch. Well, if you want to, you can, but don't. It was a Serbian film. Is that how you say it?
A Serbian film.
Serbian film. Like, okay, I wanted to give it like 2 out of 100 because the end of it is like really like batshit crazy, and it's going through crazy flashbacks when he's drugged and stuff. Spoiler alert, I will be talking about when he's drugged and how he finds everything out. But it's just, I couldn't get past of what they're doing, and it just didn't sit right with me. So that's why I gave it a 0 out of 100.
All right. And well, those are all the movies that we watched over the course of the last week. If you want to see any of the reviews that we've posted for any of these, or the ones we've done in the past, or anything else, you can go to the letterbox, which are right below our names over here, and over there somewhere with Kevin. But yeah, you can check those out. All right, we've got some comments here. Yoicks and away! Wham! Yep. Yeah, that was one of the best parts of Robin Hood Daffy. Yep. Yeah, the animation is peak for Studio Madhouse. Ice Station Zebra could have been cut down to 1 hour and 45 minutes. Yep, 100%. It should have been cut down. Oh God, I will never watch a Serbian film. Well, if you change your mind, it's out there.
It's free.
To be fair, Craig Ferguson didn't think much. Shut up. That was for those of you who don't know, Joey went to I went and saw Craig Ferguson do a stand-up. Joey was actually there too. We sat together, and there was a part where he was talking about how he doesn't like 2001: Space Odyssey. I don't remember how it came up, but that was the only part of the show where I was like, "You've offended me, sir, and you should be canceled." No, I'm just kidding. Alrighty, well, that's it for the movies for what we were assigned and what we watched this week. Make sure to have your lists ready, though, for the wheel spin, which is coming up in a moment. But Kevin, let's go ahead and talk through the movies that are coming out, or that already came out.
Yeah, we're doing box office. Very surprised that Furiosa almost got taken over by Garfield. Chris Pratt almost took out Mad Max. So Mad Max Saga got 25.5 million. Garfield coming in right on its tail with 24.8 million. If still up there, I thought this would be kind of a little bit farther down with 16.1 million. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes 13.4, and The Fall Guy at 5.9. Still hanging on.
I went to the theaters and saw this again with my mother on Friday, which was her Mother's Day gift. I always do like a movie and dinner date, which is just, it's just, hey, that's me in a nutshell, right? Movies. And we actually went and saw this, and it's really hysterical because my mom does not like Ryan Gosling. Like, she's the only person on this planet I know that does not like Ryan Gosling. And we walked out of the movie and she's like, he was actually good in that one. And I was like, yes, we won!
Give the cutout of Ryan Gosling a high five as you walk out of the theater.
Yeah, confetti just falls from the ceiling. All the theater staff's just like, woo! That's perfect. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is Furiosa putting up getting competed with the Garfield movie. And which is crazy because I feel like this movie is getting a lot of very good reviews and a lot of good critic and fan reaction, and maybe it just wasn't marketed that well. Who knows?
Maybe it wasn't, and maybe Garfield, because it's summer, the kids are out. Garfield is the movie to see.
Yep. To be honest, I went to the theater today, and there were a lot of family and kids there. So whether they were seeing If or Garfield, they're there for one of those. If being on there still doesn't surprise me. Again, Memorial Day weekend, families on vacation or whatever, they're going to go see it. But yeah, the rest of it kind of makes sense to me. But let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out next weekend after this comment. Garfield is well known, and I'm sure a lot of kids and families went to go see it. Won't be surprised if it drops next week. Yeah, it'll probably drop pretty far. I think Mad Max is going to stay in number one spot next week because, as we'll talk about here, we don't have a lot of stuff. It's big coming to theaters this weekend, except for one movie that I'm very excited about. So, speaking of which, shouldn't be very hard. Let's go ahead and talk about these movies, though, real quick. Up first is Young Woman and the Sea. The story of competitive swimmer Trudy Iredale, who in 1926 was the first woman to ever swim across the English Channel. Actually, a really cool story. This is coming from Disney, so one of their first movies of the year, starring Daisy Ridley in the film, and Joaquin Running, who is actually the director of the upcoming Tron Ares, I believe. Let's see here. I want to say that's correct. Yes, he is doing Tron Ares. So one of their directors. So looks like it should be pretty decent. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Up second is Handling the Undead. On a hot summer day in Oslo, the dead mysteriously awaken, and 3 families are thrown into chaos when their deceased loved ones come back to them. Who are they, and what do they want? This is a really interesting movie. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago with the trailer that came out. I think this movie looks pretty good. It's got a 72 on Metacritic, so it is getting some positive reviews. Up next is the one that I'm really excited for, which is In a Violent Nature. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it. This movie's gotten a lot of positive reactions from horror fans. It's got a 65 on Metacritic, so about a little bit more middle of the road in terms of a critic reaction. But some people actually, the poster is actually awesome. It has a little piece of reaction on the top of it that says the gnarliest kills I've ever seen. So this one, if you're into the serial killer slasher movies, this one seems like it's going to be your movie.
I wish, not to interrupt you, but there's not a lot of showings, unfortunately.
There aren't, and none of them are at Regal.
Yeah,
so you have to go to somewhere else. So we'll figure it out though.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have Ezra. Comedian Max co-parents his autistic son Ezra with his ex-wife Jenna. Faced with crucial decisions about Ezra's future, Max and Ezra go on a life-changing cross-country road trip. This one's got a big cast, so if you're into kind of a reaffirming positive drama, it's going to be your kind of movie. So, alrighty. But that is it for the scheduled part of the show. And with the change of the music, you know what time it is. This is time for the Wheel of Fate. Kevin, are you ready to see what we're going to get this week?
I am very excited because nothing can top last week. So,
well, I think you mean to say anything can top.
That's
for you.
Yeah.
But if you have any suggestions, please feel free to get them in now. so we can go ahead and write them in. We have 89 entries on the list.
Dang.
Yeah, we're getting
my
up
wheel's
there.
looking small. I have to full screen it to see.
I love it when it's this small. It's like I don't know what's going on.
That is not what she said.
We got Nadia piping in with Gremlins.
Oh, good one. Good.
Have you reviewed Gremlins, Kevin?
I have not reviewed Gremlins.
Okay.
I have seen it a couple of times actually.
Okay. I've actually never seen Gremlins, so I hope I get it. Alrighty. Anyone else? Any other films that we're adding onto the list? I will also say that Final Destination. I did also add in a couple of things on here. I'll put Kevin on Final Destination because I've already seen it and reviewed it, I believe. Let me double check.
I think you have.
It's a movie I think is like stupid fun. Yeah, I've already reviewed that one, so that would be for Kevin to review. Let's see here. TMNT 1990. Okay. And then Dredd. Oh, Dredd's a good one.
Which one? Or is there only one?
There's two. There's Judge Dredd and then there's Dredd.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Is Dredd
Dredd's the remake that's really good.
Yeah, okay.
Nadia putting in big. All right.
Oh, well, we got some Tommy Hanks in here.
Some Tommy Hanks. Alrighty. Any other suggestions? Also, Kevin, the one I did add this week is because we've got multiple people submitting multiple movies. So I think it's only fair that you and I get a couple extra chances to assign a movie to each other. So I put a couple extra on there.
Oh, yeah, we told Joey, or is it Jose?
Joey?
Joey, he could do some shorts, remember? So he's got some shorts for us.
Let's see here. Meets. Are these shorts?
Oh,
yeah, they are, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sailor. How to play baseball. Let's see here. A Tale of Two Kitties. And then The Bodyguard. And we got Tom and Jerry, Screwball Squirrel. Oh, is it just the movie Tom and Jerry? A little confused on that one, Joe. You're going to have to specify. Screwball Squirrel. Quiet Please. And then okay, I see what's going on. Popeye is okay. The Bodyguard is Tom and Jerry. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Matt has Underwater, the Kristen Stewart movie. I thought it was like a documentary.
I've actually already I have reviewed that movie.
You can put that under me. I haven't seen it.
You said something different with the wheel. What'd you do? So I added in a couple extra chances for me to pick a movie for Kevin or Kevin to pick a movie for me. Just because people are submitting multiple different things. Love and Monsters. Okay.
I'm trying to think of if I get my movie to pick for you, what I'm going to pick.
Alrighty, I'm just going to go ahead and put these in front of each one so I know that they're shorts. Alrighty, anyone else? Any other suggestions? We'll go ahead and give it one more minute if you have anything that you want to get on there. Alrighty. Mrs. Doubtfire. I have already reviewed that movie, but I'll put it on there for Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's funny that, like, Nadia requests movies that she wants to watch so that you guys can watch them together.
I think she wants to watch them for you, but she doesn't know.
Mrs. Doubtfire is a good movie.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it, but I haven't reviewed it.
Alrighty, another 15 seconds or so. Any other suggestions? I think the Dover Boys is short as well. Alrighty. And I believe that is it. Alrighty, no more suggestions. Please do not submit any more. Let's go ahead, Kevin. Are you ready to spin?
Yeah. Did I go last week?
I went first last week, so you're going first this week, bud.
Sounds good.
Have you reviewed Ouija? I have not reviewed Ouija. I'll go ahead and throw that last one on there, though.
I thought you did.
No, I have not done Ouija.
Okay.
I haven't seen that or its sequel. I've heard the sequel is better.
Much better, yeah.
Alrighty, Kevin.
Yep.
Your first one.
2 shorts and 2 movies if we get it. Because it might feel like we're doing 2 shorts here.
Alrighty. And Kevin gets...
Yes, give me The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper for Kevin.
I don't know if that's anywhere, but let's see. Oops.
You're probably going to have to rent that one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Alrighty. And I believe that was a friend of the show, Twan, who reviewed put that one in. So thank you, Twan. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and spin it for the first one for me. Oh, I love how it's just so many different things that it
Can't even see.
Looks like the wheel is kind of stationary. Glenn or Blenda? I'm not familiar with this movie.
I think that is Matt Walls again, just to let you know. I don't think Matt was Beekeeper, though.
No, that was Twan.
Oh,
Glenn or Blenda?
I think maybe Glenn or Glenda.
Oh, that might be a mistype on my part.
I think it's Glenn or Glenda.
Glenn or Glenda. Yes, it's a... oh my gosh. It's a movie by Ed Wood. Never heard of that movie. Okay, yeah, it is a movie. 1953 by Ed Wood. Okay, it's available everywhere. Interesting. Alrighty. That looks like it'll be a fun movie. Not really. Alrighty. We'll see if that's predatory on the trans community. Alright. Let's go ahead and do Kevin's second movie. Yeah, that's just my mistype. Alrighty, Kevin. And it is TMNT 1990. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which one is that one? That's going to be the original.
Yep.
From 1990. That one is one you're going to have to rent, unfortunately.
I know Nadia has it on DVD.
Oh, there you go. Hey, whatever you don't have to pay for is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
On Paramount Plus, too.
Oh. Weird, it didn't show it on me for me. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do my second one. Matt is on a 3-week win streak.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's really exciting.
He technically got 2 already. Wait.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
I think that was Matt as well.
I believe that was Nadia who did From Dusk Till Dawn, or maybe that was Matt.
I think that was Matt.
I feel like Nadia has recommended that one before, though, for a wheel spin. Maybe that was when Adrian was on the show. But I have seen From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, it was Joey's. Okay. I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn. I just haven't reviewed it.
Okay.
So, interesting. Alrighty. Should we spin to see if we get a short?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alrighty. This will be Kevin's short spin. And if you don't get it in 3 wheel spins, we'll just assign whatever one's closest.
Sounds good.
And you get one right away.
Awesome.
Racketeer Rabbit.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then let's go ahead and go for my short. Never seen that one either. Okay. Final Destination. Nope, that is not a short. So if I don't get it in 2 more, I'll go ahead and just assign whatever's closest.
Gotcha.
And I get How to Play Baseball. Or, yep. Okay. How to Play... That's actually fitting. I'm going to an Angels game tomorrow, so that's fun. I should watch that tonight, just in case they try to rope me in.
Yep.
Which they won't. Alrighty. Well, we have got our assignments for this week, so I will be watching Glenn or Glenda, From Dusk Till Dawn, and How to Play Baseball. Kevin will be watching The Beekeeper, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Racketeer Rabbit. So thank you, everyone, for submitting those, as always. We absolutely love you for doing that. Can't wait to cover those. Alrighty. So that is it for the scheduled portion. Jeez Louise. It's been a long day, apparently. That's it for the scheduled portion of the show, kind of everything that's planned. So now's our chance just to hang out and chat a little bit. Kevin, what besides, obviously, you got Millie, new puppy. What else have you been up to? Watching, playing, doing?
Playing X Defiant, the free Ubisoft game that just came out. Very enjoyable. No skill-based matchmaking in this, so it's really fun. Either you get owned or you own them, and it's really, really fun. It's just different on like the COD space, which I enjoy. Another thing is we just finished Them Season 2 on Amazon Video, which was fantastic. We usually only watch one episode a night, but with this season we were watching 2 episodes a night because we couldn't stop. So
that's why I didn't watch as many movies this week.
Yeah, probably. No, that's probably it. Because it was like they're almost an hour long, I feel like. So, and then we did our last day at Disneyland last week before the summer, before we get blocked off.
Or blackouts.
Yeah, it was cool because we did single riders line for stuff that we didn't know was single riders. It's like Soaring Over California, single rider line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice.
So learning about all that stuff. But I think a 3-month break will be nice, and then we'll get back into it. We'll see.
Sure. I got a comment here from Nadia. Did you go to Book Off today with Grant? No, I did not. I just ended up, I went to see I Saw the TV Glow, and then came back and watched Rope from Alfred Hitchcock, and then just kind of hung out. I think I took a small nap just because, hey, it's a day off. I'm gonna enjoy my day off. So didn't end up going. I also didn't want to spend any money. So, but for me, literally, like in the span of last Monday to today, I have played and finished Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the video game from last year. I did also give X Defiant a shot. I downloaded it for Xbox because it's free to play. Played half of a round, like half of a match, and immediately uninstalled the game. I thought it was unplayable. The controls are so awful for a console shooter. Like, I had to mess around. I was trying to mess around with like sensitivity for the sticks, and it just did not feel good after anything I did. And so I immediately uninstalled it. I'll probably reinstall it on PC, just because it's obviously it's a mouse, so it's more easier to control. It just does not feel anywhere near as good as like any Call of Duty game or anything like that. Yeah. I also did try the Finals. I downloaded that, which is a free to play kind of like arena shooter, not a battle royale, but it's a very different kind of game. Didn't play any matches yet. I just downloaded it. For those of you who listen to music, Bring Me the Horizon, which is one of my favorite bands right now. They released a new album, which is just like the most 2000s emo album I've ever seen and heard. And it, oh boy, that takes me back to the 2000s real hard. Also, Kevin and I we love Electric Callboy, which is a band from Germany. And they just put a new song out with Baby Metal, which is hysterical. And then discovered a new comedian by the name of Adam Ray, who does a killer Dr. Phil impression and does like Dr. Phil live shows with other comedians. It's fantastic. So that's kind of what I was obsessed with watching the other night. Matt went to Books A Million, and I came across a kind of obscure Funko Pop, Mecha Godzilla. Immediately picked it up for my Godzilla collection. Awesome. Cool. Like classic Mecha Godzilla or Godzilla vs. Kong Mecha Godzilla? That's the question I'm dying to know. But I would love to hear which one it is. Yeah, it's these nice, like, book off type places. Oh, it's the classic one. Nice. That's the way to go. Man, the modern one looks cool too, but like the original is just iconic. So
it looks like a what's it called? A Power Rangers Xenomorph.
It does, yeah. It's like obviously it's a less of a budget than we have today, but it just looks fantastic. It's so iconic. Other than that, though, not a whole lot else going on for me over here in terms of playing things or kind of doing things. A lot of movies this week. Just had a lot of time, so
Mm-hmm.
I do have.
Have any plans to watch something tonight?
No idea yet. I had started watching the remake of A-Team with Bradley Cooper and Liam Neeson one night while I was playing video games, and I was just getting too focused on the game, so I just turned the movie off and I would finish it later. And I'd seen it before, so it wasn't like I was needing to pay attention 100% of the time. But I was like, you know what? I'm not able to pay attention. So I do really want to check out. There is a thriller on Criterion Channel called Seconds, which is a movie I've been dying to see for a long time, which has Rock Hudson in it. And it's a thriller from the 60s. So really excited to check that out. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that tonight if I've got the energy.
Yeah. I'm in the... Oh.
Go ahead.
Say, I was in the middle of Snowden. I thought I was going to make it. But cut it too short. I have still like an hour left. So.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we'll hear about Snowden next week from Kevin. So, but anyhow, any other questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, any FUs to Garrett because I didn't like a movie you liked? I don't know. Throw it in the comments section. We got a little bit of time. But while we're waiting, as always, we do have this live stream that goes live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel so you get the notifications of when we go live and you get the awesome little posts that I make. Also, we have our movie club show that goes live every Friday at about 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This coming week, we are going to be covering a movie that we both really enjoy, which is Howl's Moving Castle. So
I forget really, we're a week behind sometimes.
Yes. Well, that's just to make sure in case something happens.
Yeah. We
don't lose a week. But really excited to, get into the stuff coming out next week. I'm very, very excited to do that one. But other than that, make sure you're subscribed so you can see any other video content. I'm developing a new video series as well, so that'll be pretty fun. And then, stay in the know. We'll have the Real Watchers website coming very soon. So I got some questions here and things going on. G, do you ever stop a movie in the middle or you have to finish it? I would say yes. I've stopped movies in the middle because I either have to go somewhere or do something. Usually it's movies that I've seen before and I'm reviewing that because I haven't yet. If it's a movie that I've never seen before or never watched, like if it's any of the horror movies that you'd recommend for the Wheel of Fate or any Wheel of Fate movies that I've never seen before, anything like that, I don't stop those. I have to make sure that I'm going through all the way. Even if I'm tired, I will literally sit there and slap my face and keep myself awake to watch the movie. That's not the movie putting me to sleep. It's my own tiredness. But I don't like to stop a movie if I haven't seen it before. If I have, like the A-Team I was just talking about, then yeah, I can pause it and go back to it. It's no big deal. So it's definitely a situational thing.
I'm so excited about this.
Lots of coloring books. Hey, adult coloring books are freaking sweet.
I have never done one, so...
Even as a kid, you never did a coloring book?
Well, no, yes, as a kid, but not adult coloring books.
Man, you got to get on it, man. Coloring books they're the shit. Hey, well, hey, there's Nadia. Oh, there's a puppy.
Mom.
I see a puppy.
The puppy.
I see a puppy. Oh,
the puppy is gone.
Yeah, I guess she got up the stairs again.
Once she figures out how, you'll never be able to sleep.
Yeah.
But well, hopefully you enjoyed those coloring books, Matt. But that's it for tonight. Hope you're all having a fantastic Memorial Day. Still got a couple hours left, so have a fantastic rest of the night. Make sure you're subscribed to see the new movie club this Friday. And until anytime next we see you, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen. And a quick little message from Nadia. Have a good one.